Students, today I am going to discuss the intergenic gene interactions. Last video class I took intragenic gene interaction. Today we are going to see intergenic gene interactions. In that, dominant epistasis we are going to see now clearly. And one more heading I am going to discuss, that is the polygenic inheritance in wheat. First we will see what is meant by intergenic gene interaction. In the intergenic gene interaction, if it is a chromosome, the interaction takes place between the genes which are present in one locus. It interferes with the genes which are present in the another locus. The interaction between the genes or alleles which are present here is interact with the alleles of the another locus which are present at the another locus, that is called the intergenic gene interaction. In that, dominant epistasis we are going to see now. What is meant by dominant epistasis means the gene which are present in one locus which mask or suppresses the expression of the genes which are present in the another locus. Try to understand the genes or alleles. The alleles which are present in one gene locus which interfere with the alleles which are present in the another gene locus. Here in this interference, this gene suppresses or masks, suppresses or masks. That means it hides the expression of the another gene which are present in another gene locus. That is called dominant epistasis. For this, we are going to see the example as summer squash. In Tamil it is called Kodai Vellari. I will show you the picture in the video. Summer squash. This is for dominant epistasis. Here the example is summer squash plant. In the summer squash plant, the epistatic gene is capital W. Keep in your mind, the epistatic gene is capital W, which masks the, that means suppress the expression of the any other color of the fruit. So here the important thing is this capital W genotype is very important because this is the epistatic gene which suppresses the expression of any other genes. In the chromosome, in this location, if capital W is present, in another locus, if capital G is present, this is the epistatic gene and this is the hypostatic gene. If the capital W indicates the white color and its recessive form is small w. This is one dominant one and this is the recessive. Already I told you this is the epistatic gene. And in another gene locus, if capital G is present, that is for yellow color, and in this small g indicates the green color. This is dominant and this is recessive. In this I told you capital W is dominant, small w is its recessive form. Here capital G is yellow color which is dominant, and if this small g is for green color. If this capital G is not there, only small g is present, then only the green color appear, because this is dominant to this green color. This yellow color is dominant to the green color. But this white color, capital W, is dominant to all other color. If one capital W is present, it suppresses the character of all the other alleles which are present. So, this is the epistatic genes. This is the parental generation. White fruit is crossed with the yellow fruit. Their genotype is capital W, small g, and here yellow fruit with small w, capital G. When they are crossed, the F1 generation is capital W, capital G, small g. What will be the phenotype? Phenotype for this hybrid is white. Why this white color appeared? Because this is the epistatic gene. It hides the or masks the character of other gene. Even though the capital G is present, capital G is already I told you the capital G is for yellow color. Even though the capital G is present, this character will not be expressed because this is the hypostatic gene, which in the hypostatic gene means the character of this gene will be suppressed by the epistatic gene. So, that is why here the yellow color is not appeared, only the white color, because the capital W indicates the white color, and this is the epistatic gene. When they are selfed, the same type of genotype, here the gametes, we have to bring out the gametes here. Capital W, capital G, capital W, small g, small w, capital G, small w, small g. How to bring out this gametes means this capital W, capital G, one gamete, capital W, small g, another gamete, small w, capital G, another gamete, small w, small g, another gamete. So, in this way we have to bring out the gametes, and another here also the same gametes will be produced. When we plot these gametes in the checkerboard method, capital W, capital G, capital W, small g, small w, capital G, small w, small g, capital W, capital G, capital W, small g, small w, capital G, small w, small g. These are 4 gametes. Another 4 gametes we have to write here. Now we have to write capital W, capital G, capital G. Already I told you, if one capital W is present, this is the epistatic gene which suppresses the character of other genes. So even though the capital G is present, it will not indicate yellow color, only the white color will appear in the summer squash fruit. So capital W, capital G, small g, capital W, small w, capital G, capital G, capital W, small w, capital G, small g. Here capital W, capital G, small g, capital W, small g, capital W, small w, capital G, small g, capital W, small g, small g. Now capital W, small w, capital G, capital G, capital W, small w, capital G, small g, small w, capital G, you can see the difference here. It is the recessive gene, so there is no epistatic gene is present here. Here the dominant gene is present for yellow color, definitely this is yellow fruit. And here small w, capital G, small g, even though one capital G is present, that indicates the yellow color only. Try to understand. This capital W only the epistatic gene. This is in dominant. When it is in dominant condition, it is epistatic gene. It suppresses the character of the other genes, other alleles. Here there is no dominant, that is capital W is present. Only here capital G, both are capital G, that is why it is yellow color. And here small w, capital G, small g is present. Here it is the yellow color. Capital W, capital G, small g, capital W, small g, small w, capital G, small g, and small w, small g, small g. I told you this small g indicates the green color. If capital G is present, yellow color. If small g is present, this is the green color. And here you can say this is the one capital G is present, that is why yellow. Here one capital W is present, this is white. This is also white. If you see 1, 2, 3, 3 yellow color, 1 green color, all other from here to here, everything is white. 3 yellow and 1 green. So the ratio is, phenotypic ratio in F2 generation is ratio is 12:3:1. So for dominant epistasis, in the examination point of view, they will ask you what is the phenotypic ratio for F2 generation in the dominant epistasis is 12:3:1. 12 is white, 3 yellow and 1 is green. Why this 12:3:1 is coming means because of the epistatic gene. This is the epistatic gene which masks the character of the other genes, even though if it is present in the dominant character also, it hides the character of the other genes. That is why 12 white, 3 yellow and 1 green appear because of the epistatic character of the genes. Now we will see the epistatic interaction and the phenotypic ratio of F2 generation. This will be asked in the examination point of view. Only we have seen the dominant epistatic ratio 12:3:1. The remaining things also can be asked in the examination. Sometimes recessive epistatic, what is the phenotypic ratio of F2 generation? 9:3:4. 4. Like this, each one can be asked in the exam. That is duplicate gene with a cumulative effect. What is the phenotypic ratio of F2 generation? 9:6:1. And the complementary genes 9:7. And the supplementary genes 9:3:4. And inhibitor genes 13:3. Duplicate genes 15:1. So these are the phenotypic ratio of F2 generation. Only we have seen this 12:3:1. The remaining thing you have to keep it in your mind to prepare for your exam. So during the examination point of view, this can be separately asked. What is the phenotypic ratio of sometimes complementary genes or sometimes inhibitor genes, sometimes duplicate genes? This can be asked in the exam. So you always keep in memory that this ratio, F2 ratio, you should keep it in your memory. Now we will see the polygenic inheritance in wheat. Students, what is meant by polygenic inheritance? When more than one gene, that is many genes affects a single trait. In last video class I told you in pleiotropy, the single gene affects many character, but this is many genes affect a single character. So that is why it is called polygenic. That means many genes affect a single character. The first experiment was done by Swedish geneticist, that is H. Nilsson Ehle, in wheat kernel. Kernel means it is the seed cover. Wheat kernel. Here polygenic means many genes, I told you. To control this wheat kernel color, 2 genes, each gene with 2 alleles. So 2 genes are responsible for wheat kernel color. What are those 2 genes means? One is he crossed the dark red kernel with white kernel. Dark red, the genotype is capital R1, capital R1, capital R2, capital R2. So this is a genotype for dark red kernel color. And for white kernel, small r1, small r1, small r2, small r2. This is the pure breed of parental generation. When crossed, the hybrid which is produced here is capital R1, small r1, capital R2, small r2. Try to understand. Capital R1, small r1, capital R2, small r2. Hybrid. When they are, this is the F1 generation. This produce medium red kernel. And when they are self with the same genotype, the gametes we have to bring out now. Capital R1, capital R2, capital R1, small r2. Then small r1, capital R2, small r1, small r2. Capital R1, capital R2, one type of gamete. Capital R1, small r2, another type of gamete. Small r1, capital R2, another gamete. Small r1, small r2, another gamete. These are the 4 types of gametes are produced. Here also the same type of gametes will be produced the same way. Now we will see in the checkerboard method. Small r1, capital R2, small r1, small r2. Capital R1, capital R2, capital R1, small r2, small r1, capital R2, small r1, small r2. The same type of genotype we have to draw here. Now we have to bring out the individuals. Capital R1, capital R1, capital R2, capital R2. Capital R1, capital R1, capital R2, small r2. Capital R1, small r1, capital R2, capital R2. Here capital R1, small r1, capital R2, small r2. Capital R1, capital R1, capital R2, small r2. Capital R1, capital R1, small r2, small r2. Capital R1, small r1, capital R2, small r2. Capital R1, small r1, small r2, small r2. Capital R1, small r1, capital R2, capital R2. Capital R1, small r1, capital R2, small r2. Small r1, small r1, capital R2, capital R2. Small r1, small r1, capital R2, small r2. Capital R1, small r1, capital R2, small r2. Capital R1, small r1, small r2, small r2. Small r1, small r1, capital R2, small r2. Small r1, small r1, small r2, small r2. In this wheat kernel color, we have to see the number of capital R's. How many number of capital R is present, that indicates the red color. If 4 capital R, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 capital R is present, that is dark red, that indicates the dark red. Just for your understanding, I am writing here. If 4 present, that is dark red color. Medium dark red color means 3 capital R, if it is there, that is medium dark red. And medium red means 2 capital R are present, that indicates the medium red. For light red, only 1. If there is no capital R at all, that indicates the white color. You have to always keep in mind, if number of capital R is present, that indicates the red color. Now we will see, here 4 are present, that is why it is dark red. How many 4 R's are present here? Only 1. That indicates the dark red, only 1. So, the phenotypic ratio for F2 generation is only 1 dark red is present. We will see the medium dark red. How many R capital R should be there? 3. So we have to find out one medium dark red, medium dark red, one medium dark red, two medium dark red, three medium dark red, four. So four medium dark red color is obtained. Now we will see the medium red. How many medium red? Only two capital R should be there. One. So medium red. One. Medium red. Two. Medium red. Three. Medium red. Four. Medium red 5, medium red 6. So totally 6 medium red. Next one is light red. The light red should possess only one R. See here, light red 1, light red 2, light red 3, light red 4. So 4 light red kernel color we obtained. If there is no capital letters are present, only see here, only small letters are here, that is why actually it is white in color. So only one white, one dark red, 4 medium dark red, 6 medium red, 4 light red and 1 white kernel color we obtained. So there is no blending of genes taken over here. If you see here, dark red color, this is the parental genotype and this also parental genotype. Again we obtained in the F2 generation. So segregation of gene occurs here and we obtained the same parental generation again. So there is no blending of genes occurs here. Later researchers found that 3 pairs of alleles, that is another pair is also involved in the polygenic inheritance in the wheat kernel color. Here you see here 3 pairs of independent alleles, 1, 2, 3. 3 pairs of alleles are involved in the kernel color in the wheat. One is when they crossed that is a dark red wheat kernel with the white wheat kernel, the F1 hybrid, this is the F1 hybrid. This when it is selfed, here they got the different shades of kernel color. One is with dark red, 6 with moderate red, 15 with red, 20 with intermediate red, 15 with light red and 6 with very light red and 1 with white color. Actually Nielsen and Ehle got the 63 red, that means not red color, many shades of reds they obtained with 1 white in the F2 generation. Why this number of 63 shades of colors means? Because the involvement of 3 pairs of independent alleles are involved here, that is why different shades of color they got in the F2 generation. The same way human skin color is also example for the polygenic inheritance. Human skin color, if the genotype is like this, capital AA, capital BB, capital CC, means they get dark skin color. If they are in the recessive form, small aa, small bb, small cc, they receive the light skin color. So instead of two alleles, here number of alleles are involved in the character of skin color. That is why it is called the polygenic inheritance. If capital A, capital B, capital C's are there, that is the responsible for the dark skin color. In their recessive form, they receive the light skin color. This is also best example for the polygenic inheritance. Students, you might have understood the intergenic gene interaction in that dominant epistasis, and the next one is polygenic inheritance in the wheat kernel color. Both you prepare well. Thank you.